Okay, so this is a typical scene out of a game called DeadCore, which is a strange name. At the moment, I'm running. Now, DeadCore works beautifully on Linux. This is a Debian Linux system. At the moment, there's a bit of anti-aliasing issues here, and that's because I have the graphics configuration set up specifically for the OBS software, because the OBS software, for reasons unknown, will not capture the full resolution of my screen, at least not yet. I'll work on that. And even so, right now, apparently there's been 96 frames dropped due to rendering lag, and that number will probably only increase. What I'm going to do is change the graphics quality to something customized, where shadows, textures, what we'll do is we'll simply turn on every option here. Now VSync, I'm not entirely too sure what value I'm going to get out of VSync, just simply to synchronize the frame rate to the monitor, but I'll do 30 frame per second VSync here. Let's see what that does. Let's go back. Also, I'm playing this in a window. This is just a ordinary X Windows type window. What I'm going to do is I'm going to move this up a little bit right here. This way, I think my mouse gets right to the bottom of the screen, and that's where OBS cuts off. Now then, let's have a look at this game. Most of it is puzzle solving. It's puzzle solving and chasing after, I don't know, solutions, I guess. You can jump and you run and you go sideways. Anyway, these laser things, see, like that? That is supposed to be a laser wall chasing me, rotating from the top from some strange glowing power ball that doesn't really mean anything. The solution with these laser guys is to chase them, jumping correctly, and I fell right off of the first platform. Let's try this again. And we got ourselves a jet there, which will knock me right off, so I'm falling behind right now. Now this one here is a bit tricky. I've got to get into here. Oh, there's a jet there that knocked me sideways. Let's go back here. 132 frames dropped. So it may be a processor issue. It may be that I just don't have sufficient CPU horsepower to run OBS, at least not at a full capture rate. Oops, I wasn't moving fast enough and the laser caught me. Let's just, you can hear me tapping the keyboard. That's me jumping. The jump is just hit the space bar, right? Classic. And I fell. Might as well go back and start over where I started from again. Nope. Crunch. Eventually, repeating the same process over and over and over again, which isn't quite as tedious as it sounds. I'm sure most games are this way, and I got graunched again. Didn't move fast enough to get. I've got to stay right on top of this laser here. This laser wall, I've got to chase it and get up here. This one here is what's really tricky. And yeah, frustrating and annoying. It's not that expensive a game, really. I will say it requires a certain amount of, CPU and GPU horsepower. It does. Okay, now I'm going to sit tight. No, I guess I'm not going to sit tight right there. I had a laser following me. I had to hit that jet. It was about to knock me off. One more time with enthusiasm, shall we? Oh, also, don't catch up to and run into the laser wall, which is in front of you. Double tap, double jump, climb into the tube, shoot that, get up here, because eventually you get to the outer edge here where you can't be touched by anything. It's like a safe spot. Now, it's a little confusing to try to figure out where you're supposed to go from here. And there's some sort of a message popping up in the upper left-hand corner, but it doesn't really mean very much. What I have to do is I have to jump on top of these rotating platforms. That's what I've got to do. Missing it is frustrating. Got to do all this over again, which, by the way, muscle memory will basically get you there just fine. Get into here, shoot that up here, and we're, safe. More or less here. And I've got to jump on top of that moving platform as it goes by. This sort of deal. Right. So this is what DeadCore is. DeadCore is one big long sequence of more or less muscle memory, repetitive, and to a certain degree, annoying and frustrating little puzzles. And the puzzles are all about timing, really. They're all about timing and muscle memory, because you do the same thing 75 times trying to get to the same place. And there really has to be a question of, is there some reward in this? And the answer is no. There's no reward. What do you get if you get through to the next stage? Well, you get nothing. That's what you get. See, I'm riding on the platform here, and I'm going to jump into right here. And that's it. That's your typical run-of-the-mill DeadCore puzzle, dodging little lasers and things. And then you get to this green pad, and this green pad is now the next place. If you make a mistake, the next place you get, respawned, I guess. Now, there's a big laser wall up there, and this is a jumping jet. Your objective is to jump on top of it. And while you're at it, let's look up straight into a laser wall. Right. So it's also about a certain amount of timing and repetitiveness and stuff like that. Here, let's try this again. I can see now that what I need to do, and I keep ending up back on the same green pad over and over and over again. This is very typical of DeadCore. Essentially, endless, non-stop, repetitive process. And eventually you just get to a point where, well, here, look at that, I fell off. Oh, there's a wonderful bit of free fall that you can do. And when you do free fall, let's just jump into some kind of a laser wall. You can go back if you want. No problem. And you end up back on the pad that, was your most recent so-called achievement. I'm kind of hoping that I'm describing quite neatly the process here. There, I managed to catch the right timing. You got to be really careful you don't fall off of some little ledge that you're on. So there's ledges and such. That's a target that you shoot, and it opens up something. Gives you something to jump to next. Let's see if we can get to something interesting. Now we begin to see why DeadCore is... It's kind of beautiful to look at. It's a lot of geometric structures, a lot of navigating around in 3 dimensions. Not quite as snazzy as, say, Overload, which is a fantastic rendition of Descent. And Descent was a fantastic game from the 90s. Now then, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to change the so-called graphics settings here. Custom. There's Ultra. That's as good as it gets. At the moment, my GPU is a NVidia Quadro card. You don't need top-of-the-line, big-time, fancy GPU technology to run games like this. You really don't. Here, let's take a look at the NVIDIA unit that I've got, which is a Quadro K4200. Now, the K4200 is worth its weight in gold. Beautiful card. You can get them pretty cheap on eBay, various places. And the K4200 is the Quadro line from NVIDIA, which is a higher quality of silicon, a higher quality product, and it's designed from day one to run at full maximum load and temperature 24 hours a day, day after day. And the Quadro line is always more expensive than the gamer or PC home GeForce line. But for all intents and purposes, why would you want a Quadro card anyway? Well, typically you're a computer programmer, developer doing CUDA core programming. That's stuff I do. And that's for fluid flow analysis, numerical analysis, things like that. I like the Quadro card, the K4200 specifically, because it's cheap. And here's what's most important. It is one slot on your motherboard, just one. It's not a double thickness GPU like pretty much all of them are. It's very thin. It takes up very little space, doesn't use much power, and provides more than sufficient horsepower to run just about any game or graphic intensive operation. It does have 4 gig of memory in it, so it's not one of the big new fancy 8 gig or 12 gigabyte memory cards. But then again, it's only using less than 25% of it right now. And it's a PCI Express Generation 2 slot is what it's in. That's important. That means you don't need a fancy modern motherboard. You can use a motherboard from 5, 7, 8 years ago, pop this card in, and it'll work quite neatly. In any case, it's running at about 62 degrees, well, 60, let's call it 60 degrees Celsius right now. And the fan is not even running at anywhere close to full speed. It says, I'm going to have to trust that. I'm going to put that down in my lower left corner. I just watched the temperature. What I will do is maybe change these settings to, let's do very low. Let's go all the way down to the bottom, in theory. Back, there we go. And resume. Now, it doesn't really look all that different. This is, in theory, very low quality. There is some rendering issues. I can see the rasterization. Anti-aliasing is not really working at all right now. But the game is perfectly playable. Media effects, sure. Ultra. No. Ultra. Whatever Ultra is, which it doesn't seem to want me to select. There we go. Ultra. Go back now. And resume. Now, in theory, this is ultra quality. Anti-aliasing looks like it's being done, but I'm still seeing rasterization effects. As I turn slowly, there's line breakage. and the blue lines that are glowing around those square pads, I can see the line breakage. I think that's a moire effect, or a moire effect. I'm not too sure if the pronunciation is correct. It's usually caused by the convolution of two different patterns with slightly different frequency in 2 dimensions. I guess there's such a thing as a 3-dimensional moire effect, but I'd have to get into talking about Fourier transform analysis, and let's not do that. Not now, anyway. Let me see if I can make the jump to that green square over there. I'm going to back up a bit here and take a run at it. Ooh, gotta be careful. There we go. Now I'm supposed to run over here to that square. Has to be, because there's nowhere else to go. Yeah, okay. I'm going to run over there to that square. Jump. Come on, get on there. There you go. I caught just the edge of it. There's some sort of a glowing, that's called a laser wall. So don't run into it. Let's go over to the next square. And I missed it. Oh, I missed that square entirely. Up there somewhere. And I landed on a pad somewhere. Okay. Is this a workable situation? I don't know. Nope. I'm basically in no man's land. There's nowhere for me to go. Maybe I can run into that laser wall. That'll reset me back to where I was. Is there any way back? Let's see. No, I can't quite get up to the top of this. And now I'm falling. I'm falling down into the cracks and edges of DeadCore. This happens more often. Oh, that's interesting. That's some sort of an achievement unlocked thing. Switch gun. Okay, I have a new gun. I really wasn't expecting there to be anything down here for me. I could go sliding down this curve and end up on that jump jet right there. And if I do get on that jump jet, where does it get me? Could fire me straight up this tube, not sure. Here's another jump jet, which throws me up there somewhere. Well, it can't hurt to look at where we're going to go. Did I just go in a big circle? I really don't know. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go just over here on top of this curve thing. Part of DeadCore sometimes is wandering around lost with no idea where you're supposed to go and looking at various places to jump to, various places to land. You never know what you're going to find. There could be, unlocking different guns. Although I've never used anything except for the gun that I've got in front of me here right now. Okay, I just fell again through the cracks of something. I saw a target though. This is kind of looking familiar. I think this is the laser wall thing that I had to jump through only 5 minutes ago. Huh. Okay, this is looking very familiar. Okay, I've gone back all the way in a full circle back to where I was jumping over these squares, and I'm all the way back. Okay, so I guess I must have hit the right jump jet. You just never know. It's also kind of tricky. Everything's keyboard based. There's no controller. I think you could use a VR helmet with this game. It would be a little overwhelming. Fully three-dimensional. Would it help? I don't know. I'm going to say no. I'm going to see if I can hit this square and not fall off it again. And now I've really, really done it. I've completely gone. Oh no, I'm all the way back to here. That's not what I wanted in life, let me tell you. And now I've got to go through this process again. Welcome to the DeadCore experience. Is mostly about mindless repetition over and over again to get past some little issue. And I think I just need to jump on that jump jet. Well, it's a little further away. Or closer. It's hard to know. There we go. And I'm on a pad again. Whoa! Do not fall. I fell. Okay, that's free falling in DeadCore is part of the process, let me tell you. Slipping through the holes and falling is just something you do a lot of. It's, in fact, I think there's some sort of a game achievement if you free fall something like, I don't know, 10,000 times or something like that. You get a special achievement unlocked somewhere that says that you're basically a free fall expert, which basically means you miss your target, you fall off, and you end up in no man's land. I'm going to see if I can hit that square over there. There we go. Now, I'm trying to get to a pad clearly over there. There's no fans running. And when I say fans, I mean little red spinning fans that either blow you off target or they draw you in to the rotating blades. I'm sure that the people who wrote this game thought that would be entertaining. They're wrong. Oh, look at this. I fell again. Welcome to DeadCore. At least I'm getting good at that. Let's see if I can make this, you know, to the next green pad, and then I'll stop this embarrassing process. However, ultra mode graphics is, sure, it's okay. I could be running in full screen mode, in which it looks, quite frankly, better. Full screen mode. But OBS would never be able to capture it. Alright, so I need to get to that green square right there. Jump. I'm in a low gravity zone too. There we go. Green pad. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, sentinels. These guys will hunt you down, and, well, let's just say they're the kind of annoying. There's a jump pad. I gotta turn it on. Trooper, okay. I call it a sentinel because I don't know what else to call it. Let's just see if I can, okay, what I've done is I've just managed to escape the guy that's down there on the ground. He's annoying is what he is. They're just these square blocks, like everything else in DeadCore. Everything's a geometric, very simple shape. It's either a square block or it's a tube. There are no other shapes in DeadCore. I'm jumping, following what looks to be like the path of least resistance here. I really don't see from here. Oh, okay, so from here I've got to get up there somehow. And that's too far to jump. That square right there, I got to take a run at it and do a double jump, which is jump and then jump again in the middle of the arc. Jump, jump, like that. Okay. Any square like this is easy to get on top of. It's just a double jump, straight up. I can see there's something going on here. All right. Whoa. Do not fall off the edge. This is a jump jet. You shoot at it, it turns on, and it will fire me straight up there somewhere into the sky. With no idea where I'm going to land or if anything's going to, well, boom. Oh, it's not that big a jump jet at all. I see a green pad. Jump, green pad there. Done. Alrighty. So this is, what, 2 or 3 puzzles I've made it through? Whoa. I'm jumping madly right now. I've been through this before. This particular section is kind of annoying because of these guys. This guy here makes cute little noises. really cute little noises. And, well, the best thing to do is just shoot them. If you shoot them and they fall down the right area, they can drop all the way down. See, he hit a ledge down there, so he'll be right back. I'm going to just jump to this square here. I think I should be able to make it to this square. There's another one. Okay, these guys, and I just got zapped by, hard to tell, but I got zapped by a sentinel or a trooper, whatever you want to call it. One of these guys, you know, there, they can go away. Now he'll be back, and he'll be back soon. This guy, I just fell off. All right, I'm going to just stop right here because I think you get the point. I'm now stuck in a corner. There's no way out of this other than to fight through these little floating trooper sentinel dudes. And he didn't go away for very long. You see that? So I'm going to make him go away. I'm going to make that guy go away. And I'm going to miss my target. I'm going to miss the square I was going to drop on entirely. I'm going to make him go away. And that guy there. And I missed my target. You're probably thinking, I'm not very good at this game, and you'd be right. Let me see if I can get there. I don't know where the other guy is. There he is, right in front of me. And now I need to get up to here. Wow. Multiple paths. Explore multiple paths. Yeah. Okay, there's a jet there which will push me straight back, which I don't want. And there's a jump jet there. So I'm thinking, oh boy. Multiple paths, which means this diverges at this point. Over there, it looks like there's an entire puzzle complex. Laser walls, various things. Onto a structure way off in the distance, along with some transparent structures which will become live or be activated if I go in that direction. Tough to say. Here, there's a jump jet that takes me up through this tube across. Over here, there's a jump jet. I see it right there. Targeting reticle says there's a jump jet, which means I have to make a massive jump from there into that structure there. And then that probably takes me further up the superstructure. And this big superstructure thing right here goes up to a cluster very, very, very high up altitude. Okay. Well, let's just sneak up on this gently. I don't see... Oh, great. Straight into a trooper dude. So that's nice to know that there's... So now I know that if I jump on this jet, somewhere up there is a trooper. I'm going to see if I can get on the edge of this without hitting the jet. See that up there? There he is, right there, right there. The easy thing to do is shoot him early. Oh, great. Now he's in my path. Okay, that was an example of shoot and run as fast as possible and get onto another green landing pad so I don't have to go through that again. But we know where I am right now. I've just gone up that tube structure up there, and I was way down there, looking up here at this jump jet, which takes me up there. I don't have to go through a laser wall, do I? Yes, I do. I have to jump right through the middle of that tiny gap. And there's some sort of a reward unlocked path thing right there. I see it. I'm basically just bouncing on this jump jet. So I'm going to back up a bit, just so I land on the pad here. Okay, so the last green pad was right there, very close by. And at any given moment in time, I can hit the letter R, or the R key on my keyboard, and that will snap fast take me right back to the most recent green pad, which is handy when you do as much free falling as I do. I end up falling off of structures, and well, you can free fall for quite a while, at least in the early parts of the game. I'm just going to take a run at this. I'm going to make the assumption that maybe the game writers, they said, let's make this one easy because you've never seen a laser wall with a gap before. And I'm just going to run at it and see if the trajectory naturally takes me through it. Okay? Like, well, almost like that. But it will certainly look like it was ready to take me right through with no hassle. I may have to do another jump. Oops, right into it. Okay, so this will take a couple trials to get the right feel for how to get through that laser wall. But there's the next green pad on the other side of it. So this is just a case of try it a couple times, get a feel for the speed. See, I'm almost through it. It's just a question of timing. Maybe what I'll do is I'll try not doing anything. I'll just hold the run key, which is basically just go forwards. The run key, kind of funny. It's essentially designed such that you can hold the mouse with your right hand and you shift sideways with either the letter A or the letter D. I don't think S does anything. S backs me up. Okay. I guess I never really paying attention to such things. Z does nothing. I think E, later in the game, gives you like a burst of speed to run. Speaking of which, let's get through this laser wall thing here. It's the kind of... I probably was through and I didn't have to do that little extra jump. It just felt like as if I should. There, I'm done. I think that's mostly about luck, to be completely honest. There's no skill in it. Oh, speaking of skill, timing. So there's a red laser wall and a jump jet. So my objective is to not go free falling, which is what I just did. Okay, that was easy though. Let's crunch. There, that's not so bad. Made it through that one. Okay, boom, boom. Let's get up on this square. Do not fall off the edge. If you're actually right on the edge of a square, falling, just do a jump, and your character, who you never see, your character has no face, no nothing. There's no. All you are is just a timing thing and a gun, which says an hour and 10 minutes now getting through this level. Not that I care. Hour and 10 minutes means nothing. Okay. Why do I feel as if that was all too easy? Let's go over here in the corner. That's way too far to get to in one shot. There's a jump jet. We got a jump jet and a laser wall. I'm going over here to the far corner. Yeah, okay. So just timing, I guess. I think I'd like to catch it as it leaves. Like now. That'll do. I'm going to call that luck. Yeah. Okay. This here, I almost feel as if I could jump over the entire thing. There's no reason to even use that jet. I should be able to take a run at this and actually get to that far pad without that jump jet, but that seems too easily. Timing here again. My distance to that jet, I'm just going to take a run at it and try, otherwise I've got to redo this whole little sub-level again. And I really don't want to have to do that. So, timing. I think I'd like to throw myself at that as it's beginning its swing. Like, well, that was wrong. And I'm all the way back here again. Except I got experience. I should be able to get through this pretty quick. See? Get up here to this cube, get up here to that cube, up here to that cube, landing pads all the way, over here. Great. There we got myself another one of them laser wall things, which that one's not too tough, I think. There. Then we're back here in fairly lickety-split order. So, timing. It takes longer to get to that thing than initially thought. So, that really worked out badly. Timing. Oh, yeah, I guess I should probably pay attention to that. And there is music, and there's sound effects, and I don't even bother wearing headphones or using speakers or anything, because there's really nothing to listen to in this game. There's no audio component of it that helps in any way. Listening to anything is a waste of time in this game. So, however, speaking of timing, and maybe by now, if there's anybody who actually ever bothers to watch this, you might get the distinct impression it's tedious. It is both tedious and boring after a very short period of time. It is. Tedious, boring, and repetitive. And so therefore, I don't see any other reason to keep going. I'm going to stop at this point. It gets across the general idea. The game never, ever, ever changes much from this concept. It's just leaping through paths. Occasionally you have to do major tricky leaps. Timing, repetitive. That's DeadCore. It's great to look at. But now I can leave that sentence hanging. I don't really need to finish the thought. Well, thank you very much for listening to an introduction to DeadCore.